Welcome back. Halloween just 21 days away. Start thinking about your costumes, right? But we're learning this. Chocolate prices are high right now. This is cocoa costs have more than doubled since early 2024 for those trick-or-treaters. The surge in pricing largely due to severe supply disruptions in West Africa, which accounts for approximately 70% of global cocoa production.
And in addition to this, there are tariffs in place. The main U.S. supplier of cocoa is Ecuador, Ivory Coast, Dominican Republic, and Ghana, all of which receive these reciprocal tariffs ranging from 15% to 25%. Jason Sorens is a senior economist at the American Institute for Economic Research, and Francis Stacy is an economic strategist. Great to have you both here. I'll get your thoughts on this, Jason. Do you think that the chocolate prices are going to stay high given that these tariffs are in place?
Well, what happens with agricultural supply disruptions is usually they last for at least a year because you have to wait till the next growing season to make up for that deficit. So I definitely think we'll see chocolate prices remain high into the next year. The raw cocoa comes to the U.S. and other countries that actually make the chocolate, and they have to pay higher prices for that cocoa. And obviously the tariffs don't help either.
Yeah, Francis, it does make you reevaluate. Does that mean those king-size chocolate bars probably not an option this year?
Yeah, I'm going to tell my trainer, I just did apples. I mean, I won't even discuss the caramel. I just did apples. It's an economist thing. No, the thing is the supply chain disruption, to Jason's point, is really the reason behind the massive cost increase here. So it's not really totally tariffs, and tariffs haven't completely settled out just yet, but it does look like it's going to remain high. A lot of commodities have gone up. Grocery prices have just skyrocketed. And when the rate of inflation comes down, it's the rate of the increase of inflation. And so prices are still going up. And that's probably going to be true with cocoa for an extended period.
Yeah, Jason, I mean, what about the timing of this? I mean, Halloween obviously is one of those times of year where there's a lot of chocolate going around, trick-or-treaters and that, but is there anything to read into that in terms of the timing of this?
I suppose demand could play a role here. Obviously, when demand is higher, you'd expect costs to go up. But this problem actually goes back to last year. So it's been a long-running issue. So I think, again, demand probably plays a smaller role than these supply disruptions in the cocoa-producing countries.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, President Trump was touting what he views as the success of the economy here. So he shared this on Truth. He says, just out, good news for the holiday season. Early prices are down while tariffs are making our country an economic power again. Also, virtually no inflation as stock markets continually hit record highs, the best of all worlds for the U.S. I was looking a little bit at the pre-market trading. It looks like things are in the green right now, Francis. Of course, President Trump's going to have a very positive view on the economy. What do you make of his analysis there?
Yeah, absolutely. We are in Goldilocks. And one of the reasons that we are in this Goldilocks scenario is because we have a record amount of liquidity in the system via the M2 money stock. And we have a record amount of credit in the system. And even though we have had an inflection in some of the defaults around foreclosures are up in Florida and Nevada for housing, auto delinquencies are up, credit card delinquencies are up. It hasn't reached a systemic level just yet. The one thing I would say, and this is not Trump's fault, we definitely are living in an ideal scenario given the various risks, is that the economy is cyclical. So that's historically true. But the problem is that we're living in a bifurcated economy where I would argue the lower 60% versus the upper 40% live in very, very different worlds. And that's going to be the thing that Trump and the administration is going to have to contend with for the rest of his term, certainly.
That's a good point. Jason, I'll get your thoughts on that as well. Opportunity to respond.
Yes, I would say there's a lot of uncertainty about how the economy is doing right now. Certainly, I agree that we're sort of awash in money and credit this year, and that's actually kept inflation somewhat elevated. It has not come down to the Fed's target. They've kept interest rates high. We've started to see the job numbers get soft. So there's a lot of uncertainty. Is the economy running hot, or is it slowing down? We just had Governor Waller say he thinks it's slowing down. So we may see the Fed act more aggressively in the coming months.
Sure. Plus, we got a government shutdown that is happening right now. So that causes a little uncertainty here about, market watchers and also everyday Americans, and especially those federal employees who are waiting to see whether or not they're going to get paid, when they might get paid, when they might see that back pay. All right, Jason and Francis, thank you very much for joining us here today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you both.